Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to another edition of Heel Yeah Wrestling. I'm Josh Rockstall, and today we're joined by FIP superstar Fred Yehi. So, you have had a very prolific year so far. Can you tell me a little about what you've done so far this year?
Well, so far, like the really big news as far as like my career thus far this year has been, signing with Evolve, of course, and the things that have come with that. Really getting the opportunity to, to face some of the best wrestlers in the world, and then as well being able to have the honor and the privilege to compete with FIP. So those are some of the main things. And then, of course, like as of today, it was announced that I'd be in a qualifying matchup for the Global Cruiserweight Series, which was, featured on, WWE.com. So like that was it's still very surreal. It's still very surreal, and it still hasn't really, clicked fully yet. So however way that turns out, it's still a great opportunity within itself. So, that's some of the that's some of the stuff that's going on in the world of, Fred Yehi, thus far.
So, you are facing off against a 15-year veteran, TJ Perkins. How is that going to square up for you? Are you excited for that match with a veteran such as TJ Perkins?
Oh, yes, very excited, very excited. It'll be a heck of a challenge, and I'm all about, taking up challenges. So he's a, member of, Checkpoint. He adopts that philosophy, and I'm sure to be a real treat for the fans who love that style of wrestling. But yes, I'm really looking forward to that matchup.
Now, before this news came out, another big thing that happened for you is you became the number one contender in FIP. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We just had the Rumble last Friday, and came out on top in that Rumble, and I'll be challenging Caleb Conley, and I do have some unfinished business with Mark Stone, who tagged me after the matchup. So that'll be handled in due time, and then I'll go on and work to defeat Caleb Conley for that FIP title.
I have to ask you, when it comes to your slogan at the end of every post that you have, it's "Yeah, 5 times." What's that mean?
Yeah, 5 times. Well, that kind of goes that to me, it coincides with control, which is on the back of my tights. You take control of things, and yeah, 5 times. It's about it's always like my kind of form of like self-talk. We always have doubts and thoughts that may contradict what you want to do, and you may have to say the same thing to yourself over and over and over and over and over again to overcome doubts and take courage and straddle up and keep going. So yes, that's where that derives from. I have to tell myself yes. I tell myself yes, I can do it. Yes, I can. Yes, I deserve it. Yes, I've worked hard for it, and I believe in my training. So hey, that's where it derives from. It may sound silly, but it means a great deal to me.
No, that makes perfect sense. Now, lately, Evolve, FIP, the whole WWN promotion has been getting a lot of WWE attention. How is that affecting your progress that you've made? Because you are on the forums and social media, you are the number one top independent star right now who isn't currently under some sort of contract by WWE, what people have been telling me.
So you're asking, like, what does that mean to me? Like, how is that affecting me? Is that the question?
Well, I guess I put two questions in one there. Sorry. So we'll start off with, how is it working for the WWN with a strong hand of WWE being in the product?
That's kind of a tricky one to say. I mean, I can. I'm not really sure what goes on in the minds of Gabe Sapolsky and the guys who are at the head. I'm not sure what their plans are, but I can sure tell you what I'm getting from it. Just a just upon like signing with them, and I'm really being thrown out there, it seems. I'm being thrown out there, which I'm not complaining about. I'm really being put to the test in a lot of matches. A few weekends ago over Mania Weekend, having Marty Scurll one night and then Hero the next night and then Gulak, the show after that. It was a real test. It was a real test. And it's to me, it's a really good learning experience. This is like graduating from high school and then going to college. I'm starting all over, and I'm having to earn my stripes all over again. So I believe that I need to prove that I belong there, and that I don't mind doing. I don't mind proving that I belong there. And I believe that they, as in WWN, WWN Network, Evolve, and then even if WWE, if they're interested, they need to know, like, hey, what are we getting? What are we getting? Who is this who we're looking at? If he has this kind of buzz about him, why have this kind of buzz? So we're going to see just what's all in him. We're going to put him to the test. So that's the way I see that, honestly. So that's actually what I'm getting from that, which is fine.
You guys were very busy over Mania Weekend. 3 shows I saw for the WWN promotion, as many companies underneath that. How was it being a part of WrestleMania Weekend in Dallas, Texas?
Phenomenal. It was phenomenal. That was an atmosphere that I have not, been in. That was the first time being in that kind of atmosphere in my wrestling career. I've only been wrestling now for, a little over 4 years now. But it was phenomenal. It was kind of overwhelming, in some cases, being able to wrestle in front of that kind of crowd. So I couldn't imagine what it would be like to wrestle in front of a crowd of like 50,000, or even like a WrestleMania crowd. You have like 100 and something thousand people there. I couldn't imagine it. But wrestling in front of those, 1,500 people there at Edge Ranch in Dallas, Texas, that was a great experience. And then, so many people there for one cause. Everyone there, they love wrestling, and seeing all your peers and, the guys who, I read, I would always read about, in the forums and all that stuff, like just being able to, partake, on the same card as those guys, even seeing those, just watching those guys work, it's great. It's been a great experience, and Dallas, Texas was no different. It was a great experience, And I believe I left there, a much better wrestler.
As far as the independents are concerned, Evolve seems to be the place to be right now, with such stars as Drew Galloway, Zack Sabre Jr., TJ Perkins, Matt Riddle, Lio Rush, yourself, and Earl Cooter. What is it like being in that kind of strongly independent influenced atmosphere?
It's great. It's great. It's a great environment for me. It's really helping me to, evolve as a wrestler. It's helping me to evolve as a wrestler. Again, like I mentioned before, it's been a big step up for me. It's almost like I related to graduating from high school and going on to college. Just being in that kind of environment, you have no choice but to get better. You have to step your A game up, and the guys on that roster, that's what they expect. That's what they expect from everyone. You get that opportunity, they expect for you to bring your A game and beyond that. They expect you to exceed expectations, and, the crowd as well. But, I just have no choice but to get better. So, yes, there's a lot of positive pressure that comes along with it. And, that's how it's been for me so far.
As far as wrestling career goes, you've been in the business very short amount of time so far, and done a lot of climbing within the business itself. You started in 2012, I believe. Am I correct there?
Yes, sir.
Started in 2012, and already it's 2016 now, and you've got a match, qualifying match for the WWE Cruiserweight Series. it seems like you're fast tracked here to the right places.
Yes, yeah, it does appear so, but the journey itself was it was a pretty long journey, and I know it's I'm trying to, because I know I'm very, very grateful. I'm very thankful for the opportunity that's come about and just how things have fallen into place for me. But I know there are guys who are like 12 years in who may have the same goals, and it may not have worked out for them that way. I know, like you mentioned, Leo Rush. Like Leo Rush is like a year and a half in, and things have like just fallen into place for him. And I guess all of us, we have our different paths, but like if you ask me if I could share my experience, it didn't really seem like it was just a fast track. Like it took a lot of work. It took a real grind. It was a real grind. It was a real grind to even get there. For one, like wrestling here in Georgia, it can be pretty difficult to get out to those other places where you can like face other guys and face these guys who are really getting around. Like I know that was one of the main challenges. So again, I'm very grateful and thankful and appreciative of how things have fallen into place, and thanks to the support of everyone who's supported me this whole time, and as well as like my hard work and dedication, it's worked out in my favor. So again, I'm very grateful.
Is there anybody that kind of took you under their wing coming into WWN? Because I know I've talked with a couple guys from WWN, Earl Cooter, Vince Dorado, and they just say, as you've said, it's such a welcoming and just fun atmosphere to hone your craft. Is there anybody that kind of like helped you ease into the WWN community?
Let's see. I know I have like there were a few occasions when I had the pleasure and the privilege of being somewhat under the mentorship of like Drew Gulak, and before the Catch Point deal, Tim Thatcher. So that was really, really cool. I really, all up to this point, and it'll definitely be a continuation. Like I've always tried to pick the brains of like, of my vets or whatnot. So yeah, so like those are the two who I can definitely say who, I'm not sure if I've been like under their wing, but I've definitely have like, picked their brains, as far as the business and as far as, wrestling. So those are the two.
What I like about the character of Fred Yehi, say it right, Yehi? Yehi.
Yes.
It's going to take me forever, but what I like about the character is it's always something different. You're always wearing some different type of pant over your trunks or something different. It's just always something different with you. You're never getting the same repeat. I must use the word gimmick coming out each night.
Thank you. I'm a pretty out of the box person and pretty random person. I just kind of go with how I feel sometimes. I'm an anime freak. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. So hey.
So, what was your reaction? When did you find out you're going to be in a qualifying match for the WWE Global Cruiserweight Series? And what is your reaction now?
Again, it's still pretty surreal. I'm very, very thankful, very grateful, and it's still pretty surreal. I don't think it's quite hit me just yet. I'm on my way to a show right now here in heading out to LaGrange, Georgia, and I'm planning on hitting the gym after that. And but no, it hasn't really quite hit me yet. I found out when everyone else found out. You know, I guess that's how it is nowadays. Like, I find out as other people find out. So when I saw the news, I saw the buzz going on Facebook and getting a lot of messages and everything else. Like, I was pretty surprised too. But at the same time, this is what I've worked for, and this is what I've been pushing for. So again, it's very surreal, but I'm very appreciative, very appreciative.
One thing that when I was talking to Lince Dorado, he said his bookings went up tenfold just on the announcement alone of him being in the Cruiserweight series. Obviously, you probably haven't noticed that yet, but is that something that you're expecting?
I'm really, really, really hoping so. That would be a great thing. Whether, regardless of the outcome, I mean, I'm going in there May 7th against TJ Perkins. I'm going in there to win. I'm going in to win it. But as far as like other bookings, if these bookings are anything like Evolve, like, it'd be freaking phenomenal. Like at this point, again, I feel like I'm starting over. I feel like I've graduated high school and I'm in college now. I believe that the more that I just continue to jump into the fire and just stay in that fire and keep proving myself, I'm just going to get better and better and better. I need to be in this kind of environment. So if those kind of bookings work out where I can continue to compete against the best in the world, I mean, that would be a great thing. And that's something that I'm really, really hoping for, regardless of the outcome from May 7th.
Coming into Evolve, did you expect this fast to have such opportunities? I know that people like Triple H have been backstage, William Regal. Have you been able to talk to them and just pick their brain a little bit?
I had the pleasure. It was great. I had the pleasure of being able to pick Regal's brain. I mean, he's a true professional. And what's really, really cool about William Regal is you can just see it and hear it in his voice how much he really loves the business. And I remember before I guess I would kind of think that once a lot of guys would make it to a certain level in this business, especially when it gets to the point when, they're so higher up to where they don't really have to rely on their bodies as much. I used to believe that, maybe to some degree the fire would kind of be gone and they're just more business minded. But no, like Regal proved that theory wrong for me. And he's so passionate about the business. He really watches the matches, down to every detail. And like he doesn't just blow anyone off. Like, I mean, he'll really talk to you about the business because he loves it. But yes, that's one thing. Like Regal, like I picked his brain, and that was one guy who was able to give some amazing feedback and just constructive criticism, which really is helping me to just really rethink and reevaluate and evolve my game. So yeah.
When you get called up to the WWE, where would you like to go, NXT or WWE's main roster? And who would you like to face off against? Who do you feel you'd have the best matches with on either roster?
Okay, so what was the question before that? I heard who would I love to face off against?
Yeah,
but what was the question before that?
The question before that was, if or when would you rather be on NXT or WWE's main roster? And who would you like to face off? Who do you think you'd have the best matches with on either roster?
Honestly, when it comes to WWE or NXT, either one would be fine. I really don't have any preference over the other. Either one would be fine. That's the I mean that's the peak regardless. You know, whether you're on NXT, whether you're on Raw or SmackDown. I mean, you're you're in the land with the big dogs regardless, in my opinion. So either or would be an honor to be able to be a member of either of those rosters. It'd be an honor, in my opinion. As far as opponents, if I were on NXT, like, I mean, they have just a slew of talent there, crazy talent, like Sami Zayn. You have Nakamura now, Samoa Joe, Chad Gable, Jason Jordan, Finn Balor. Like there's so many guys who I would love to be able to get in the ring with, and then of course, like with Raw and SmackDown, you have I would love to get in the ring with Cena. I would love to get in the ring with Seth Rollins. I would love to get in the ring with Antonio Cesaro and Kevin Owens. So the slew of guys I would love to get in there with. Alberto Del Rio. Like, I would love to get in there and test my abilities against any of them.
And I feel, watching your style, you would have phenomenal matches with Cesaro, as your both styles would complement each other and just put on phenomenal matches.
Thank you.
Well, that brings me to the end of the interview. I want to thank you for coming on, and if there's any shows you'd like to plug right here on this portion of the show, go right ahead. If you have any merch or any shows you'd like to plug, go ahead and do so.
Okay, stay on the lookout for a new Fred Yehi t-shirt that should be hitting in about another month. I'm putting that into work. Of course, check me out at Evolve Wrestling, May 6th and May 7th. May 6th in Baltimore, Maryland. May 7th in Queens, New York. May 7th, I'll be taking on TJ Perkins. The matchup for May 6th has yet to be announced. Check me out also on the Indie Wrestling Channel. I'm the current Indie Wrestling Channel champion. So check me out in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and wherever else I may be booked. FIP Wrestling. Check me out with FIP. I should be returning back to Orlando, Florida next month, whenever that date is announced. And I will be gunning for that FIP title, but I have business settled with Martin Stone. Also, BACW Wrestling on YouTube. Be sure to check out our weekly episodes. Check me out at WWA 4. Their weekly shows from the school. Not just me, but check out the other students who are working and grinding and busting their tails and trying to make something of their careers. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, times 5.
Perfect. Thank you for being on the show, and I hope you have a great show tonight.
Oh, yeah, check Catch Point. That's another one. Catch Point. Shout out to Drew Gulak, Matt Riddle, TJ Perkins. I'm going to beat you, TJ. And Tracy Hot Sauce Williams. Shout out to Catch Point.
Perfect. Thank you once again. And once again, all the best. And we're looking forward to see you on the WWE Network in the near future.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right.